lower trim. Then I'll be able to lower the trailer back down, get the fenders in. Pretty much the box exterior will be done. So to do this, now this 3M is super sticky, so you get one chance to put it up, or you got to peel it off and put on a whole new piece. So I've already taken off the protective piece. So what we do is we jam it in there, get it into position. Now that 3M tape is gonna hold that really good. And just to get this corner to seal up a bit better, I'll just bang it that way. Oh, there's Puff talking. So this corner's got a lot of butyl tape in it. I'm using 1-inch black screws. They got a really nice finish washer attached to them, and then I put a small piece of butyl tape. You can't see it there, maybe you can, wrapped around the threads of the head. That way when I screw it in, I now create basically a rubber seal around the screw head. So I'll go back with a hand screwdriver and give everyone that last little bit of torque. So I'm working on the wheel well trim pieces. You can see here. So 1/8 inch checker plate. Took a bit to get things to fit. Right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 pieces. All being pre-drilled, painted. I let the paint dry for about 4 days. So now, so there's P rubber here, which seals that gap between the fender and the allo panel in the box. Then, so add some 3M double-sided tape and roll it on so it's on there really good. It's stuck on good. Of course, the panel, everything's wiped down with acetone first. There's a couple pre-drilled holes which were used in getting everything to fit properly. So now we'll get that on. So what I do, of course, will be I have a few screws already prepared. They got my little bit of rubber seal on them, and peel off the one side of the 3M, which is always a real pain in the butt to get it started. Okay, using a sharp X-Acto knife and get this started. You know, just pull it off real slow so it doesn't take it off the other surface. So you get one chance with this tape because it sticks super quick. So to get, I want the metal plate to push down on the rubber. So I have my push stick. So I'll put this bit here. Use a couple more hands doing this, but there's nobody around to help, so put that in place. Get one screw in. Put them in super tight yet because I need to pivot it or move it around a little bit, or best I can. Which, again, because the tape is already sticking. Things just don't always go as planned. I need that to stay in tighter. So when I cut these to size and pre-fit them, I only used the 1/2-inch screws. Now I'm using 1-inch screws, so the 1/2-inch screw didn't make a pilot hole, let's say. So there's more meat now for the 1-inch to grab, if that makes sense. So I only put in about 4, maybe 6 screws, just in case I have to, something just doesn't line up and I got to redo it. That way I haven't made all my holes. I want the screws to go in for the first time, and that's that. So on to the next couple pieces. Okay, so this side is done. A bunch more screws you have to put in, but you can see it there. It's all done. So that cleans up that gap between the box and this allows, when step on the fender to get to the roof, if need to, your toe will hit here and not scuff up the paneling. So there's an overview of the trailer and what I'm working on today. So I've got all the paneling is on. Not sure if you'll see down the side here, but all the side rails are back on permanently mounted. Wheel wells are in. Some of the window frames are in. Rear tail lights on. It's 90% insulated on the inside. Maybe a bit of overkill and some of the insulation, but figure the more you can insulate it, the better for condensation, and especially like that's a steel frame rail. So wrapping it with plumber's tape, that's sticky sided plumber's pipe tape. So I wrap that steel. That should prevent condensation from warmer air inside to cool air outside. I don't know, just all my thoughts. Up on the top, you can't see it. Well, over there is a small bit right in here. So the top of the frame rail will also be insulated, and in that channel I'll be using to run all the electrical. The electrical will run up just in behind the wall. It'll be inside of wire loom, and the wire loom will be inside of pipe insulation tubing. That way, again, I'm going to create insulation in that void that's behind the wall and the steel frame. And the whole trim panel at the top of about 4 inches will be easily removable if I have to get into do any electrical repairs like side marker bulbs and stuff like that. So and I've made a few of my screws with the mounting bolts I'm using with the butyl tape around the top edge here. So again, that creates like another washer / waterproofing. So there we go. Put a hole here. Just gonna put my there. That's gonna go in. So very hard to see. Good. That caught the hole, so that's lined up. Get this one in here. It's a good idea to poke a hole through the butyl tape, so just to help the bolt get through. If it catches too much butyl tape, it'll actually peel it off the frame. So just gonna slowly go around, put some in, make it square. I need a clamp it here to pull it up some. Take that hose off. Here we go. So that's going through the frame. Then a layer of Elepanel, then 1/2 inch micro sanded plywood, and then 1/8 inch metal frame. Then a lock nut or a lock washer and nut will go on the back side. So I'm just going to continue doing that. Wiring is all up in this upper channel, which will be easy to access if needed. So we got 3 different wires. We got tail lights. We got all the marker lights, And yeah, so it's left tail light, right tail light, marker lights. Marker lights will also run to license plate, which is actually going to be on the door. And I'm putting on the aluminum trim, the top trim, which is where the roof will mate up to. So it's all riveted in, foam insulation, 4-inch wide RV sealant tape, which wraps around the edge, which I'll show you over on. So this is the next piece I'm putting on. You can see the sealing tape, foam tape will go next. And this is where it sort of starts here. So that's a corner. So on here will be the sealing tape and the foam tape. So work on that next. So this one I'm using for the sealing tape. Got this on Amazon. Really good stuff. So you're going to use one continuous strip along here, and then that folds over where steel, wood, and aluminum outside panel all come together, so that waterproofs that edge. So here you can see the vinyl seam tape overlaps about 3/4 of an inch. The aluminum trim goes on and hangs just a touch below it. So I really don't want the tape to be seen, but also on the aluminum on the side that's on the wall will be butyl tape, or actually 3M adhesive tape, because I need the 3M tape to stick to this, because there's no screws going in the wall. Only screws are mounted from the top, or sorry, rivets. Like if you see here, that's riveted, but there's no screws on the outside edge. And here, it's tough to see, is 3M tape. So that waterproofs up in the edge. So before applying the 3M, which is double-sided, I get one shot at it for sticking it on. So preparation is the key to get tapes to stick well. So wipe it down with acetone. Wiping down that edge, that's where the tape's going. You can see how oxidization it removes, and dirt and grime. So just wipe that down. I already did it a couple times, so. And then I'll also wipe down the outer edge of the trailer. So that should pretty much conclude the building of the off-road trailer. Like I said before, in the background there you see it's, I can say 95% done. A little bit of work, I could just take it out for a shakedown weekend once the weather warms up. I did the electrical. Electrical's 99% done. Insulation is mostly done. I'm going to spray foam the fiberglass top. With that fiberglass top, it gives me it's about 2 inches short of standing up in, which the plan wasn't to stand up in it. So I may still make this a little bit of a pop-up. Not sure yet. We'll see. A few ideas in my head. The top weighs about 110 pounds. That's very strong. So the next part of the off-road trailer build will actually be making the fiberglass top. Follow